This is Ezekiel, and you're watching Mwendo Radio Backstage.
Just talk about the growth of the poetry scene since you've been involved. I mean, I know obviously, the whole P4CM situation has played a huge role in that, and you guys having your videos on YouTube and them joints going viral.
Absolutely.
But just as someone in that, and seeing it happen and being a part of it, and being one of the leaders, you know what I'm saying?
And I'm grateful that you said the things that you said, because P4CM has been instrumental in this whole movement. Because when it started, P4CM started as basically a hub for people to make being passionate for Christ visible to other people. And I think that there may have been spots all over the world where people were passionate for Christ, going into missions, hitting the streets, but we weren't seeing it. And so P4CM took it upon themselves to, hey, let's let the world see this stuff. And then with the poetry, taking the same heart that they have for people and the gospel and applying it to poetry just was crazy for everybody to see. And Blair Lynn, we call her the godmother, of it all. And she really, literally, she was the first person I saw when they said, man, check out this spoken word. I'm like, why? For what? I like rap.
Wow.
Spoken word. Why would I ever want to see some poetry? I saw her and I was like, what? It almost made me literally, as a rapper, say, I'm not doing this for God, because that's what doing it for God looks like.
Wow.
And I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. And
I thought you was always doing spoken word, bro.
No, bro, not at all.
Wow.
No, I didn't. You couldn't have convinced me. If I didn't see that, you couldn't have convinced me or paid me to go to a poetry show. For what? Here I am standing, snapping. What? Garbage, bro. But now, and even still to this day, I'm not a poetry fanatic. What I am is I'm a fanatic for people using the gospel in an honest way, hearing their stories in honest ways. That's dope. And then the poetry is that's dressing, that's decorations on that. So so it's grown. It's come to a place that we've seen that the growth started, I guess, domestically and now internationally. Wherever we go, people know about what we do, and which blows my mind. I'm just like, okay, 100,000 plays on YouTube, 500,000, 1 million YouTube views. For me, in my mind, because the world is so big, didn't translate to people watching it all over the world. But people know about it, they're hungry for it, and they want to see this, and they want to have it. And it's just
I was gonna
crazy.
say, you probably walk down the street sometimes, and people,
you know who they think I am?
In certain spaces,
they think I'm Jason Derulo. That's what they think. Cray said, "Hey man, you know who you look like?" I'm like, "Nah, bruh, Jason Derulo." He was like, "Yeah, boy." So that's where I get a lot more. But Jackie calls it we're church famous.
Church famous. Church famous.
So amongst the body, people know about what we do and they appreciate it. Yeah,
that's good, man.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you got into poetry basically seeing Blair.
Yeah.
How'd you get into hip hop?
Man, I'm from LA, raised in Watts.
So you was on that far side.
What you know about it, man?
Hieroglyphics.
No, I wasn't on that.
You
I
was on Hyro?
I was on that. I stayed surfing. I was a little boy, so I was on that Ice Cube, DJ Quick. West Coast. I was on that West Coast, and that's what I loved. And then growing up, then I started to
you
get
was on that Dickies and Chucks.
Oh, come on, man. What you know about it? What you know about it? Exactly. That's why I started. And if you hear my first rhyme, actually it was rooted in, because I was in gangbanging hood, so it was talking about gangbanging.
Yeah.
So as I grew, I started to appreciate something that was my heart: battle rapping. Battle rapping was what made me have a passion for rap.
Wow.
And lyrics. Really? Yeah, man. Battle rapping was just everything to me. Like I was a scholar in class, but I started to deviate from writing my essays to kicking bars in the classroom, and I couldn't wait till lunchtime to rip the next MC.
I was gonna say, so did you get in like official battles, or this was like?
Yeah, I got in real battles, but at school.
At school stuff.
Yeah, so of course.
But those be the most competition.
Woo, boy, I battled
because you got to see them people the next day if you get slaughtered.
Man, I think I got beat once by my best friend.
Wow.
And after that, I never got beat again.
I formed an alliance,
bruh, man. I had to learn. The battle rapping is all about the crowd. It has nothing to do with anything else but the crowd.
Yeah.
And I learned how to win the crowd, and that's how I just, and then you just get technical with the metaphors, and they love it. So
you use a lot of that with your poetry, because that's one thing I've always noticed about you is, like, when I've seen you live, you're very engaged with the audience.
Yeah.
Like with the movements and everything and the way you look at people. Yeah, bro.
You know, it comes from that. And in fact, I can't even get away from metaphors and punchlines, the stuff, the basis of the stuff that held me down in battle rap. Right now, like Almost Saved, people say that you introduce a style to spoken word that's never been known. But really what I introduced to spoken word was the battle rap punchline attitude that, you know, that usually isn't seen in spoken word. So, right now, I sound a little bit more poety than I used to, but it's because I'm kind of graduating, understanding the culture of poetry a little bit more. But battle rap, even to this day, that's like I watch a battle, boy. Yeah, man.
So you were in the battle scene when it was beats.
You said what?
When people had beats with the battle, or were you?
Oh no.
It was acapella. Oh, it was beatbox.
Come on, beatboxing all day, man. This is the DMX era. Like so, Ride or Die was our classic joint. Ride or Die was the Ride or Die battle time beat, man. Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
Yes, sir.